Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the opportunity to take this call on the Parental Leave and Employment Protection 6 months leave and work contact hours amendment bill 2015. Quite a lengthy title, but I think one that goes obviously to the heart of the bill. And while I do rise in opposition to this bill, I am not ungracious to not acknowledge the work of Ms Sue Moroney in championing this topic. It's a very valid topic to bring to the House, and I think it's a worthwhile debate. So, Mr Speaker, paid parental leave is a concept that's been part of our system and our law books since only 1987. And it had started with humble beginnings, with a simple mechanism to ensure that working parents were protected with 12 months employment in their jobs. Of course, there wasn't paid parental leave at that stage. It was simply a protection for the employment. And in fact, we need to acknowledge the history of this topic in that it was a long road to toe, and it wasn't until 2002 that 12 weeks was brought into our law, and that was after, of course, a lengthy campaign led by a number of different bodies, but of course one with the establishment of the Ministry for back then Women's Affairs, who led some research on paid parental leave and the benefits of that. So as I say, it was a long road to toe, but we are fortunate enough now to have paid parental leave in our books. But in my mind, it goes to a wider issue, sir, and that is also about enabling equal opportunities for women in balance with what's best for baby. And there's several published and documented outcomes for the benefits of paid parental leave. And of course, some of those include increased breastfeeding opportunities and all the health benefits that are associated with that. So as we're aware, it's a perfect food source for baby. It's made up of various, the correct compound of vitamins and proteins. And because of that extra time bonding, it is easily digestible for baby, and it helps prevent infections through bacteria and viruses. And that's one of the benefits of paid parental leave. I touched on it before. This time gives parents and mums that valued quality time to bond with baby. And in some cultures, even they exclude visitors and only they basically keep that time, those initial few months, to immediate family members, so as that it's quality bonding and that the family unit is seen as the utmost importance, so they exclude visitors. But one of the great things about paid parental leave, and certainly one that I experienced as a mother, is that it gives parents the time to connect into the community and to connect into different community groups and support clubs and activities which promote camaraderie and that community spirit, especially if somebody is isolated and away from their immediate family members. And for my case, one of the things that I got involved in was through the Play Centre Association, and there was a program called Space, and albeit the first year of as a first-time mum with my baby was quite a blur, and I probably could have been called spaced out. Space doesn't mean that. It's an acronym. It stands for Supporting Parents About Children's Education. And it was designed for first-time mums. We're about a group of 14 of us would come along weekly with children aged between 0 and 4 months, all first-time mums. And as those children were going through the same development phases in their life, we were able to learn about that, and we were able to share and support each other through those changes and build that camaraderie. And I'm really pleased that those women in that group are still part of my life today, And that support network is invaluable as we move forward as mothers and now as working mothers in our career. And part of being able to stay in touch is, of course, electronic media, which was debated earlier in the House. So I certainly support that. But the other thing that's great about paid parental leave is, of course, that it reduces financial stress on families. And that, of course, is a real help when you suddenly find yourself with a new baby, you've finished work for a time, babies are expensive, and every little bit helps families. And all of this is a great foundation to springboard the improved well-being of children as they develop into the future and achieve their hopes and dreams. But one last point that I will mention about paid parental leave is that it has been found to reduce the risk of postnatal depression in women. And I just say to people out there that that is a very real illness. It's a very serious illness, and it can have devastating effects on families. As I mentioned also, though, paid parental leave goes to a wider issue in that it protects employment opportunities as well, and enables a position or a person in that position for that position to be safeguarded, and their hopefully their career progression to be safeguarded, so that when mums or dads in that case who take parental leave go away to raise their child and bond with them in those first initial few months, they don't have to worry about the employment side of things. But that too, when people go back to work after having a child, is really good for our businesses and for our country.
Order. The member's speech is particularly interesting, but I want to invite her in the last 3 minutes to actually address the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. But with regards, it's good. It maintains diversity. This bill goes to paid parental leave, which is a concept that would basically maintain diversity in the workplace, which is better all round for our country because it promotes better decision making and better solutions. So, look. With respect to Budget 2014, we extended paid parental leave in this country from 16 weeks from April this year to 18 weeks in April 2016. And that extension, as opposed to this bill, was after careful consideration to finances and the costs of other competing priorities and services that this government has to provide for New Zealanders. Notwithstanding this, as the member opposite mentioned, the Minister of Labour has now worked with interested parties to extend the eligibility requirements for paid parental leave in his recent Employment Standards Bill. And I note that the member opposite is a member of the Transport and Industrial Relations Committee, and I know that she will contribute to that debate well, and I look forward to that also, and I know that we can have a really positive outcome for New Zealanders that's fully costed as well. With respect to this bill, there is mentioned in this bill the concept of keeping in touch hours, but that is something that the Employment Standards Bill also introduces. And as it's detailed there, it's about enabling employees to go back to work for 40 hours during the period of receiving parental leave payments. And that's really important when you do have a career, specifically in my case as a solicitor. You can lose your confidence when you go back home and are raising your baby and out of the profession. So I think that that's a really great initiative to allow women to go back to work, to stay in touch, albeit not in that first 4 weeks, because that is a really crucial time for bonding. But it enables people to stay in touch with their work and maintain their confidence in that respect. So look, The intent of this bill and the spirit of this bill is a good one. I acknowledge that.
I regret to interrupt the member. Her time has expired. Ian Lees-Galloway.
Speaker, we've essentially heard from Sarah Dowie that